Hey girlfriends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jody and it's great to have you again. So this week I'm doing something a bit different because this is actually a video that's going to span over a period of time. I'm starting this in the winter and then I'm going to also experiment with it in the summer, heat and humidity. Right now we're dealing with some cold temperatures. I believe it's in the 20s and it is going to warm up a little bit. We're going to get some cold rain and that's going to shift to snow again. It's going to dip back down the teens. So these products are going to be tested in some extreme weather. So what products am I talking about? So specifically what I'm going to be testing is the Dove Amplified Textures, the Shine Moisture Finishing Gel. I have that one on this side, and the Ouidad Advanced Climate Control Gel on this side. I have heard from Gena Marie that these two, she believes, are very comparable. This one obviously is a much cheaper price, a drugstore price, and this one is more of a high-end price. And I will put the prices up above because I don't have them off the top of my head right now. I also put underneath the Weather Up Lotion by Twist. And so these are my results so far. Now, I haven't gone out in the elements at all, but just my initial thoughts. First of all, while I was putting these on, neither of these gave me much of a cast. There really was no cast hardly at all forming before I diffused my hair because I let it set for that 10 to 15 minute period. Then while I was diffusing, I did scrunch out and fluff my hair with the Verb Ghost oil. And so I will apply these two products again in the summertime for this experiment. But in the wintertime, this is what I started with as well. And these are my results so far. So my initial thoughts and notices on this was when I was applying this on my hair, the Dove Amplified side, the gel was a little bit thicker consistency and it made my curls clump more. Now when I put the Ouidad gel in, that had a much runnier viscosity. It just ran down my palm pretty easily, and that both gels applied very well to my hair, but I felt like my Ouidad side just had a little bit smaller clumpage. Clumpage, is that a word? I felt like it had a little smaller curl clumps. So anyways, I did work on my Dove side to kind of break up the curl clumps so that they would be more even. Just for a matter of looks, I didn't want to have super thick clumps on this side and piecey ones on this side. Looked like I didn't know how I'm styling my hair. But anyways, so then I diffused my hair, and in the process before I diffused and while I was diffusing, there was really no cast on either side, so to speak of. I just scrunch it out with the Verb Ghost oil, as I mentioned, and then these are my results. Now, initially when I was fluffing this out in my bathroom mirror, I felt like my Dove side was a little bit more voluminous, and my Ouidad side, not quite so much. In my mirror here, I can't tell a difference. I don't know if you can tell a difference. I will be able to see better when I'm playing it back, but those are just my initial thoughts. Now, in this mirror here, I feel like I could see a little bit more frizz on this side. Not much, but just a little bit. Both sides have a little bit of halo frizz, but not bad. Oh, I should mention too, both of these gels, they don't really have a strong scent. I think I could smell the Dove one just a little bit more. It has a little bit more of a perfumed scent, but I can't really notice the Ouidad side at all. So neither of these have a particularly strong scent, but the Dove is a little bit more scented. So I'm going to test this out for the next several days, and I'll check in with you and just show you my results and my thoughts, and we'll try this again in the summertime then. I'll give my final thoughts at that point. Hey girlfriends, I am just checking back for day 2 of my gel trial for in the winter time. So just a reminder, on this side I have the Dove Amplified Textures gel, and on this side I have Ouidad. And I've already kind of looked at this a little bit better in my bathroom mirror, but my thoughts on this were that ever so slightly I have a little bit more frizz on this side, on the outside, and on the underneath part. Just ever so slightly, not bad. I haven't done any touch up on either side, and so altogether, both sides are holding up pretty good. I did go out yesterday in the cold weather, and today it is raining, but it's going to turn to snow, and then tomorrow we're supposed to get a lot of snow. So I will check back again tomorrow for my final day of in the winter trial of these gels and give you my final thoughts in the winter. So, all right, this is day 2. See you tomorrow. All right, curl friends, I am back, and this is day 3 of my hair, testing out the Dove Amplified Texture on this side and the Ouidad on this side in the winter weather and how they're holding up. So this is my hair basically that I have not refreshed or anything for the last 3 days, and this is how it's wearing. So I do have some frizz on both sides, on the top, the outer perimeter, and underneath, but I do feel like my frizz is just a little bit more so on the Ouidad side. I just feel like I have a little bit more on that side. It's pretty close. They're pretty similar, and they both still feel like they have about the same amount of hold. So just the frizz is just a little bit more on the Ouidad side, in my opinion. So they're both good gels. And like I said, I'm going to test this out in the summertime, but for the winter, as of right now, I think I like the Dove side just a little bit better in performance, and it's cheaper. So stay tuned for the summertime, which you'll see in just a matter of seconds, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, curl friends, this is day 1 results of styling with 2 gels. First of all, I did the Weather Up lotion on both sides of my hair. Then I have the Dove on my right side and the Ouidad on my left. And so we're just going to go over my results. This is obviously a close-up of the Ouidad side. This is a close-up of the Dove side. Hopefully you can see some differences because I'm definitely noticing some. The Ouidad side I feel like has more control. I feel like it has more hold, a slight bit of a cast, not a strong one, but a slight bit. And there is no real frizz to speak of that I can see. I'm looking in a mirror up here. There's a little bit, I guess, up here, a little bit of halo frizz, but you know, I always have that, so I'm not really concerned about that. That's nothing different. So on this side, the Dove side, this feels softer, especially up in here. Now, my ends have a slight bit of a cast, not much, but I'm also noticing more frizz up in here. So those are the key things that I'm noticing as far as holding up. Remember, I'm doing this test of these 2 gels based on how they hold up in different temperature environments. Do they have the humidity blocking ingredients or formulations that are really going to protect our curls during extreme weather temperatures? I did the first part in the cold months. I believe it was like January. And this one I'm doing in the summer months, and it's hot. It's going to be in the like 93 today, 95 tomorrow, I believe. And I'm not sure about the following day. So I'm going to give this test a good run for their money and see what we come up with. I will check back on day 2 and hopefully day 3 to be consistent. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, curl friends, this is day 2 of my summertime testing the gels. And this is what the Ouidad side is looking like. And this is the Dove side. I would say right now they feel very similar. Like yesterday, the first day, this one had a little bit more of a cast, I felt like. And there might be ever so slightly just more of a hold feeling. There's really no cast. Maybe just a little bit more of a hold feeling. I have gotten a little bit more frizz throughout. Not terribly bad. I feel like this has stretched out a little bit under here on the Dove side. Let's check under here. This is about the same, maybe a little bit more stretched out. Yesterday, my hair actually held up really well while I was out and about, kind of in and out, I should say, of air conditioning and in the heat. I really didn't work up a sweat. However, this morning I was doing some yard work before it got really hot, but it was already hot and humid. And I did wear my hair pulled up with a scarf and everything, but still I sweat, and I just feel like it did rough some things up, and my hair feels different now that she's had some sweat in it and everything. So we'll see how this holds up for the rest of the day, and I will check back tomorrow for day 3 and give you my final thoughts then. Okay, curl friends, we are back for the 3rd and final day of this test of the 2 gels, how they hold up in the heat and humidity. And I would say they are very close, very similar. I do have a little bit more frizz, but on both sides, especially like the halo frizz, I've smoothed it down a little bit as I've gone throughout the day, but she's definitely there, the halo frizz. And then, you know, I do have a few stretched out pieces. It's not too bad. I thought this was more stretched out yesterday when I was looking at it, but I don't think it is as much. This side is a little stretched out, but not too terribly bad. That's to be expected though when, you know, you're sweating and your hair's hanging down. Now, I did do a few low manipulations to my hair over the course of the last couple days, just because it has been so hot and I don't want it hanging in my face as I'm sweating to death. And I did a satin scarf over my head and just kind of pulled the curls back a little bit. And so they were not completely off my neck, but a little bit off. And then they were definitely not hanging in my face. And then I also used a headband at times. So like I said, some low manipulation, but nothing that I feel like really altered the effects all that much. Would these pieces probably be looking a lot worse had I not done it? To be truthfully honest, yeah, they probably would have, because I would have been constantly pushing them out of my face and I would have been a lot more grumpy about it. But that's besides the point. We're not here to talk about my attitude in the heat and the humidity. So the whole reason I am here though is to talk about Gena Marie claiming that these 2 gels seem to be very similar, and I kind of agree. I mean, this was my favorite probably in the winter time by a slim margin, and this is probably my favorite in the summertime by a slim margin. I just feel like this one had a little bit of an advantage starting out in the fact that it had not really a cast, but a little bit of like a hold, which maybe I called a cast a time or two. It wasn't a crunch, but I felt like I had a little bit more hold here. And while this side didn't have that, it still has held up very well. But I prefer the security of the feel of the hold, if that makes sense. So yes, I do think these 2 gels are very comparable. And this one has a much better price point than this one. But, you know, if this is in your price range at time or sometimes to spend on this, then go ahead. Like I said, they are both very good and I like them both. So have you tried either of these 2 gels before? And which works best for you in the heat and humidity? Or what's your favorite gel, I guess, in the heat and humidity? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. And until I see you again next week, have a great day. Bye.